This is O'Hara, a broke, tired guy who even gets embarrassed by his own shadow. Kind of like a certain friend of mine. The poor guy ends up falling for the prettiest girl at his office. Lucky him, right? But it doesn't stop there. He's actually forced to marry her. So now the big question is, will he go through with the wedding, or will he ditch everything, run away on his wedding day, and escape to Italy like my cousin Swayze? The anime kicks off in a packed office at Japan Travel Company. Everyone's super busy handling endless bookings. That's when the manager, Karu, starts yelling out for O'Hara, the poor, gloomy employee. But he doesn't hear her because it's so chaotic. She snaps and yells his name again, and this time he hears her. She asks him to confirm the hotel reservations, but he pauses for a second. That annoys her even more. She scolds him like, "Answer me quickly when I speak to you. Look at me. You got that?" O'Hara freaks out. He was 1 second away from peeing himself. But inside, he's thinking he wasn't spacing out. He was just trying to come up with the right response. Since he was a kid, he's been quiet and withdrawn. That made him afraid to talk to people or say the wrong thing. Because of that fear, he ended up having no friends, completely alone. A little later, his co-worker Maya shows up and gives him the file he asked for. But even then, O'Hara gets all nervous and overthinks everything. Maya just gives up and walks away. "Come on, man, say something. What do you think you are, the Sphinx?" Then suddenly, he notices Yuri looking at him from across the room. And not just a glance, it's that look. He panics like, "What's your deal? I didn't even do anything to you." And Yuri? She's got this whole Madame Roz from Monsters Incorporated vibe. You know, always watching. Creepy and intense. Dude, may God help you. That night, O'Hara goes home to his tiny apartment. He lives alone with his cat. He feeds it and starts overthinking everything again. He's still stressing over Yuri's death stare. It's obvious he's scared of her. Like, really scared. This is just the start of the anime. The next morning, the employees are cleaning up before work starts. O'Hara catches Yuri staring at him again, with those sharp eyes, and he speeds up from fear. Meanwhile, Yuri feels bad. She knows she always looks intense and stares too much. But the truth is, she's not trying to scare anyone. She just doesn't know how to express herself. That's why people avoid her and think she's scary. She's lonely too, and she lives alone. The only thing that makes her happy is going out for walks and trips in her free time. Next day, manager Karu calls a meeting with the whole team. She announces that the company is expanding, and the board has decided to open a new branch this year, in the North Pole, specifically Alaska. And get this, she says she's going to promote someone to go manage the new branch. Not only that, she's going to sacrifice one of the single, unlucky staff members for the job. Why? Because whoever gets sent there is basically doomed. No family, no one to care, total isolation. The single employees are all in shock. Maya tells everyone the only way out of this is to get married fast. If they're married, they won't be forced to go freeze to death in Alaska. O'Hara's thinking to himself, "Great, I'm a sad, lonely guy. Nobody even knows me. How am I supposed to fall in love and get married in under a year?" Yuri's having her own crisis. "No one even likes me here in Japan. What are they going to do to me in Alaska?" She starts brainstorming ways to avoid the transfer without quitting her job. Next day, O'Hara is out walking with his cat, thinking, "There's no way I can leave my cat and move away." That's when he randomly runs into Yuri. She tells him she's got a solution, a way for both of them to avoid the transfer. O'Hara's like, "Really? What is it?" She replies, "Let's get married." He's stunned. "Wait, what? Come again? Marriage? Are you trying to ruin my life? You terrify me." She tells him, "Relax. It'll be a fake marriage. We'll just pretend to be married until they choose someone else to send. We'll announce it in front of everyone at work." So O'Hara agrees, but only to protect his cat. Not for love, not for Yuri, just for that cat, man. Told you, this guy's a total wreck. Next day, the two of them go to Karu and tell her they're getting married soon. They're both nervous she'll see through the lie, but instead, she's genuinely happy for them. They're shocked, but also relieved it worked. A little later, Karu surprises everyone by throwing a celebration at a restaurant. Yep, she even plans a full party to congratulate them on getting engaged. Everyone at the office finds out and starts asking them stuff like, "When did you fall in love? When's the big day?" O'Hara gets flustered. He doesn't know how to answer. Yuri just grabs a drink, downs it, and suddenly grabs the mic. She sings karaoke for the rest of the night. After the party, she's completely wasted. O'Hara has to help her get home. She can't even walk straight. She stumbles, he catches her, and for a second, things get a little soft. Yuri blushes and quickly pulls away. She tells herself she shouldn't have let it get that far. And O'Hara, he starts blaming himself too. O'Hara was thinking, "I had to walk her all the way home. Otherwise, what kind of man am I?" The next day, Yuri decides they should create a full backstory for their relationship. That way, if any coworkers ask questions, they'll have all the answers ready. She starts filming their dating spots, You know, like all the typical couple locations. Then we find out she even asked O'Hara to fill out a whole info sheet about himself so she could learn more about him. Turns out, O'Hara's 24 and she's 26. So yeah, she's 2 years older than him. She learns all these little details about him, but still can't quite imagine him as her boyfriend. She says she needs to understand him better so they can act more naturally and no one finds out they're faking. Later on, they go out and ride a Ferris wheel together. She tells him this is the perfect place for a fake proposal. Then she pulls out a pair of matching wedding rings and tells him, put one on. Without even hesitating, she slips the other one on her finger. O'Hara's just sitting there in shock, totally speechless. It gets worse when she suddenly tells him to propose properly, to ask for her hand. He's like, this girl's lost it, hasn't she? But of course, he just freezes again, doesn't say a word. Back home that night, he's kicking himself for staying quiet and not helping her with the act. He keeps staring at the ring, not sure if he should wear it or not. He tells himself he's useless, can't make a decision, can't do anything right. Meanwhile, Yuri's walking by the beach, collecting seashells. She says the view is beautiful and starts filming. We find out she really loves nature and peaceful scenery. She looks down at the ring on her hand and says it feels like it has a special magic to it. Even if this relationship is fake, she's still happy because it's the first time she's felt like she's not alone. At the same time, O'Hara finally decides to put on the ring. In the moment he does, he actually feels happy. Because let's face it, he's a sad, lonely otaku, and even just pretending to be loved feels like a win. But of course, happiness never lasts for this guy. Suddenly, he gets a phone call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end says they know about his fake marriage and that it's just to avoid getting transferred to Alaska. The person even threatens to expose him. O'Hara panics. He has no idea who it could be. Later, he tells Yuri what happened, and she guesses it must be someone from work. Not long after, their co-worker Ganda shows up and tells O'Hara he wants to talk after work. He even invites him over to his house. O'Hara starts thinking maybe Ganda is the one who called. If he refuses the invite, it might prove he's hiding something. Before he can answer, Yuri steps in, grabs O'Hara's hand, and says she'll come too to cook dinner for them. As soon as Ganda leaves, she quickly pulls her hand back and apologizes for getting too close. They both decide this is a good chance to keep Ganda distracted and stop him from finding out the truth. That night, O'Hara goes home. A little while later, Yuri shows up with a bunch of stuff. She says she brought everything that couples usually have at home. Matching mugs, couples pillows, all the cheesy coupley stuff you can imagine. Ugh, cringe alert, my otaku friend. But hey, that's their thing. Yuri gives O'Hara a book filled with info about her and their relationship and tells him to memorize it, just in case Ganda starts asking questions. They take some pictures together, swap stories about their childhoods. O'Hara finds out Yuri was a lonely, miserable kid just like him. And Yuri finds out O'Hara has always been shy and withdrawn, basically her male twin. Then surprise, Ganda shows up with 2 more coworkers, Maya and Kaesuk. They're all there to celebrate Yuri and O'Hara's engagement. In the middle of the night, Ganda randomly asks O'Hara for advice. How do you talk to girls? How do you make one fall for you? Really? Men? Out of everyone? You ask him? But O'Hara pulls it together and says, the most important thing is to find something you both have in common. Someone who sees your flaws and still accepts you. And somehow, everyone's impressed. After their coworkers leave, O'Hara and Yuri clean up the apartment. Yuri tells him his view on relationships is actually really solid. She agrees that marriage would be a lot more fun if both people truly accepted each other. O'Hara asks about her hobbies and what she loves most. She tells him she loves going out and exploring. She gets all excited talking about it, eyes sparkling, full of energy. O'Hara just stares at her, totally mesmerized. She looks so sweet, so cute while talking. At least, that's what he thinks. Don't look at me like that, my otaku friend. I'm just telling the story. Yuri says goodbye and tells him they'll see each other tomorrow. But as she leaves, she feels kind of down. And O'Hara can't stop thinking about her. He realizes he misses her, but quickly reminds himself that this is just an act, nothing real. The next day at work, Yuri's clearly distracted. A stranger walks in, asking for O'Hara. Turns out, it's someone who heard about his wedding, and it's his dad. Yuri's completely caught off guard. She realizes that in the middle of faking this whole marriage, they never even thought about their families. She figures O'Hara's dad must be really upset that his son kept it all a secret, so she texts O'Hara right away. Meanwhile, O'Hara gets her message and finds out his dad is in town and probably about to cause a scene. He rushes to the cafe where they're meeting. He and Yuri decide they'll just come clean. But when they get there, his dad keeps talking about O'Hara's childhood, how he grew up in the countryside, how he used to play with frogs and cause trouble. Then he invites Yuri to come visit them in the village over the weekend. At that moment, O'Hara didn't have the courage to tell his dad the truth, so he decided he'd come clean when he visited them at the end of the week. Back at work, Karu tells him he's been assigned to escort Princess Claudia during her visit to Japan. Everyone's like, no way, lucky guy. Apparently, Princess Claudia is famous for being wild, and not exactly the classic kind. Yuri overhears all the gossip and gets super jealous, but, of course, she pretends like she doesn't care. Later, O'Hara starts preparing for the princess's visit, but he struggles to decide which places to take her. That's when Yuri shows up, wanting to help, but halfway through, she pulls back and tells herself, why are you even getting involved? You shouldn't care this much. Clearly, she's catching feelings. Then Princess Claudia arrives and instantly grabs O'Hara by the hand and sneaks him away from her guards. She says she wants to enjoy herself and see the real, fun parts of Japan. Poor O'Hara is stunned the moment he sees her. He's like, what in the world? She's gorgeous. Trying to impress her, he takes her to a cat-themed exhibit and tells her the cat statue symbolizes prosperity in Japanese culture. She loves it and takes tons of photos. Meanwhile, Karu calls him in a panic, thinking he skipped out on the tour. But O'Hara explains that the princess basically kidnapped him and that he's still with her. He continues the tour, showing her the city skyline from a rooftop and even gives her a gift, a Japanese school uniform. And yeah, Princess Claudia is totally into it. Then she drops the bomb. She wants to go to his place. O'Hara is like, wait, what? You're going to a strange guy's house alone? She laughs and says, don't call yourself a stranger. Just be open-minded. Yeah, if he gets any more open-minded, he's gonna get himself dragged straight to hell, my friend. Back at the office, everyone's still gossiping. Man, O'Hara's probably living it up with the princess right now. Lucky dude. Yuri hears all of it, and she's burning with jealousy, literally ready to explode. So she decides to go to O'Hara's place, just to make sure he's actually alone. She also wants to drop off a gift she bought him, but then she tells herself, this isn't my place. I can't control him. It's not like we're really together anyway. So her plan is to leave the gift at his door without knocking. But just as she's about to do that, she hears laughter coming from inside. Oh great, he's having a blast in there, she thinks. She gets furious and swears O'Hara's gonna pay for this. Sure, their relationship is fake, but he should still have some respect. She peeks through the window to see what's going on. Then she tells herself, no way, O'Hara's a good guy. He wouldn't do anything shady. But she can't help worrying. He's still a man, and Claudia is, well, stunning. As she keeps watching, Claudia sees her through the window. Yuri panics, tries to hide too late. O'Hara opens the door and finds her standing there. She turns red like a tomato, totally embarrassed. But instead of backing off, she storms in and yells, you're engaged. What are you doing inviting girls to your apartment? O'Hara's confused. What girls? It's literally just Princess Claudia. Claudia quickly steps in and apologizes. She explains that she's the one who insisted on coming over, and that O'Hara was a perfect gentleman. She even says he refused her out of respect for his fiancée. Claudia says their love story reminds her of her own with her husband, the prince. She's so into their fake romance that neither of them dares to tell her the truth. After the princess leaves, Yuri apologizes for showing up unannounced. She says she came to give him a gift. And guess what the gift is? A frog-shaped rock. Yep, a rock. In the shape of a frog. Maybe she is a little weird after all. But O'Hara, he loves it, thinks it's great. This dude is a mess. Later, he beats himself up for not getting her a gift too. He keeps thinking about what Claudia said, that he and Yuri actually make a great match. And it's starting to hit him. Maybe he's actually catching real feelings. But he shakes it off. Nope, we're just pretending. Don't mix it up. The next day, there are 348 days left until the Alaska branch opens, which means he and Yuri have been together for about 16 days. Yuri's still thinking about how she yelled at him the night before. She's mad at herself. Why did I get jealous? Why did I act like I have a say in his life? It's not even real. Then Ganda shows up and asks O'Hara if he's going to visit his parents alone or if he's taking Yuri with him. O'Hara freezes. How did Ganda even know? Yuri panics too, thinking, great. Now he's going to think I told everyone. O'Hara quickly lies and says, yeah, Yuri's coming with me. She's going to meet my family. Then he tells her, we have to stick to the plan. A little while later, Yuri gets a phone call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end says they know she and O'Hara are faking the marriage. And soon, they're going to expose them. So now, O'Hara has no choice. He's got to take Yuri with him for real to meet his parents. He's convinced it's someone at the office threatening them. Meanwhile, Yuri starts stressing over what to wear. She remembers a moment from her childhood, how her mom always encouraged her to pick her own outfits and told her she'd look beautiful in anything. So she puts on a dress and looks absolutely stunning, like full-on jaw-drop gorgeous. O'Hara, poor guy, just freezes when he sees her. He's staring like she's glowing. Literal hard eyes. He thinks to himself, she must have dressed up like this to impress my family. Maybe she's taking this seriously. He wants to tell her they need to explain everything to his parents. But before he can, Yuri realizes he's from the countryside and says, I think I may have overdressed. After that, Yuri tells him, you don't know anything about my family. He jokes, not even about Zamalek. She stares at him. Wow, that was the lamest joke I've ever heard. He apologizes for the terrible pun and asks her to tell him more about herself. She opens up, saying she's an only child, her parents are divorced, and she grew up with her mom. But since her mom was always traveling for work, Yuri spent most of her childhood alone. The only thing that kept her company was going on walks and little adventures by herself. When they arrive at Oharo's village, they're greeted by his mom, dad, and grandma, who immediately puts them to work. She asks them to help harvest melons. Yeah, technically they're cantaloupes, but everyone keeps calling them watermelons. Grandma sees Yuri and goes, who's this pretty girl with you, huh? Oharo awkwardly says she's just a co-worker, but the grandma's like, this must be the girl you're marrying, right? Before they can explain, she's already 10 minutes deep into wedding talk. Suddenly, Yuri blurts out the truth, that the engagement is fake and they only made it up to avoid being transferred at work. But grandma's not buying it. When they get to the house, she tells them that grandpa is sick and asks Oharo to carry 2 heavy melons inside. She also hands Yuri some clothes and teaches her how to help with the harvest. Yuri ends up loving the countryside and throws herself into the work. She bonds with the grandma, who tells her stories about Oharo's childhood and even says, you clearly love Oharo, and he loves you too. Yuri blushes and insists, no, you've got it wrong. We're just pretending. But then, out of nowhere, Yuri collapses. Grandma freaks out and yells for Oharo to call a doctor. He runs to her, trembling, and carries her inside. Almost drops her, too. Thankfully, his dad helps, and they both argue over who's going to carry her until Grandma shuts them up and tells them to just put her in the room. After the doctor examines her, he says she's just exhausted and needs rest. Later, Oharo decides to tell his dad the truth. He confesses that the marriage was fake, that they only pretended so he wouldn't get sent to Alaska, and he apologizes to everyone. That night, Grandma tells Oharo she made up the bed for him, but turns out she set it up in the same room as Yuri. The old lady's got moves. Oharo panics and tries to quietly move his bed somewhere else, but Yuri wakes up and goes, what the heck are you doing here, you weirdo? He stammers, relax. I wasn't gonna touch you or anything. I don't even like this village life. Then he tells her she passed out earlier and slept all day. He also tells her he finally came clean to his family. She breathes a sigh of relief, knowing she no longer has to keep lying. She asks him to go for a walk. While they're walking, a frog suddenly jumps onto Yuri's head. She screams and almost falls, but Oharo catches her and gently removes the frog. She blushes hard and thanks him for helping her that morning. She says she really enjoyed the melon harvest and spending time with his family. He thanks her for the frog-shaped rock she gave him, saying every time he looks at it, he thinks of her. Smooth, huh? They stare into each other's eyes. Real soft, romantic moment. You think something's finally going to happen. But nope. The frog croaks loudly, ruins the whole vibe, and the moment passes. Tragic. The next day, Yuri keeps wondering what Oharo was going to say before the frog interrupted them. She starts to suspect maybe he was going to confess, but she tells herself, don't be silly. We're just pretending. Still, when she sees him, her heart races. She thinks, why does he look so good today? Why is his hair suddenly so perfect? She even wants to touch his hair, but scolds herself, respect yourself, Yuri, don't be a creep. Later, she apologizes to his family for the whole fake marriage lie, but it's obvious they really like her. His mom even tells Oharo to take Yuri out for a little trip before they head back to the city. So he takes her to the Volcano Museum, a place Yuri's always wanted to visit. They have a great time, especially when they're around kids. Turns out, they both love children and are totally in sync with each other. Anyone watching would swear they were a real couple. Yuri can't stop looking at him, and when their eyes meet, she blushes and looks away. But things take a turn when they run into Oharo's old neighbor Now hugs Oharo, touches his hair, and tells him how much she missed him. Clearly, they have history. Yuri immediately gets jealous, especially when she finds out Now is moving to Tokyo and plans to stay with Oharo for a while. She doesn't say anything on the way home, just sits there silently, which makes Oharo nervous. He keeps wondering if someone in his family said something that upset her. But in reality, he's just falling for her hard. And Yuri? She's thinking about him nonstop too. But then she remembers Now and starts to doubt everything. Back at work the next day, Karu gathers everyone and announces that the Summer Travel Expo is about to start, meaning they're going to get super busy. Meanwhile, one of the married employees, Shin, starts bragging about how amazing married life is, how his wife packs him lunch and takes care of him every day. Ganda hears this and immediately runs to Ohara like, "Bro, teach me how to get a girlfriend." Ohara's like, "I don't even know how to get one myself." But Ganda insists he wants to win over Maya. Ohara asks, "Wait, did Maya ever say she liked you?" Ganda sadly replies, "She doesn't even look at me. I don't think she even knows I exist." Later, Ohara gets home and realizes Yuri didn't even look at him that day. Now he's certain she's mad at him. The next day, work is chaos. Everyone's super busy, but all Ohara can think about is how Yuri keeps ignoring him. He starts to believe that she really doesn't care, and that everything between them really is just acting. Then, suddenly, a small child walks into the office and tells them he's Shin's son. He explains that Shin hasn't come home since yesterday. They believe the kid even more when they hear Shin didn't show up at work either. The kid says his parents fought the day before, and since then, no one knows where his dad is. Ganda's heart breaks hearing this, and the mood between him and Ohara instantly shifts. They decide to leave work and split up into groups to look for Shin. Ohara takes the kid and searches everywhere Shin might be, but they can't find him. Ohara buys the kid some food, and then he gets a call from another coworker who says Shin might be at a small bar near the office. They rush over with Ganda and Kiska, and sure enough, there's Shin, sitting alone and looking sad. Shin tells them his wife suddenly asked for a divorce, saying she doesn't love him like before. Yeah, Ganda's sharp eye spotted the cracks in their relationship long ago. Ohara tells Shin his son is waiting for him, and he needs to go home, but Shin starts running away, refusing to return. He yells, "Damn marriage. If I'd known it was like this, I never would have gotten married." The kid sees all this and bursts into tears. Yuri hugs him, recalling her own miserable childhood with parents who constantly fought before they divorced. Eventually, Shin calms down and apologizes. He promises to fix things with his wife and try to live happily as a family again. The next day at work, Karu calls everyone together and announces there's a competition to decorate the branches for the Summer Expo. Everyone needs to pitch in and raise 20 yen each to decorate the Alaska branch like an ocean theme. Yuri ignores Ohara as usual, but Ohara, frustrated by her cold attitude, finally loses it and helps her out. He jokes, "No women carrying heavy stuff here. Where are the men?" She snaps back, "Move out of my way and let me finish." He notices her coldness and doesn't understand why. Turns out she's suspicious of his relationship with their neighbor now. They start acting like strangers again, which upsets Ohara because he thought they were finally moving forward. After work, Yuri runs into Nao, who lives nearby now. Nao asks to be friends and invites her over to hang out that night. Over dinner, Yuri opens up about what's been bothering her. She tells Nao how frustrated she is that her map paper is always wrinkled. Nao laughs and says, "Girl, you have no idea what you're dealing with." Then Nao asks about Yuri's fake marriage with Ohara. Yuri explains how Ohara and she grew up together and once got lost in the forest, but he always protected her and cared for her. She admits their relationship is more than just friendship. Suddenly, Nao invites Ohara to come over for a night out at Yuri's place. Ohara is surprised but agrees to come. He wants to know why Yuri's been upset. Later, Nao passes out from exhaustion, and Ohara tries to wake her up. Yuri angrily tells him to leave her alone and asks about the day they were walking together when he was going to tell her something but stopped. Ohara finally admits the truth. He wanted to say he was hungry because she didn't pack him a sandwich. Yuri laughs and asks what kind of sandwich he wanted. Then, out of nowhere, Ohara confesses, "Honestly, I like you, and I want us to be serious." Yuri is stunned. Nothing happens between them, just awkward silence. Ohara waits, then says, "Are you alive, or what? Should we be together or not? Come on, tell me." Yuri is so shocked she can't speak and just gives him a blank look. Ohara wishes the ground would swallow him whole. He finally gives up and says he's going to sleep early, then takes Nao home. Meanwhile, Yuri spends the night regretting, thinking she lost her chance with Ohara and wondering what to do next. The next day, Yuri finds out Ohara took a day off because of the chaos at work. She plans to take her time figuring out what to say when she sees him. Meanwhile, Ohara is upset with himself. He feels he rushed confessing and should have first been sure about Yuri's feelings. Suddenly, someone knocks at his door. He hopes it's Yuri coming to apologize or confess her feelings. But it's Ganda, who just found a girl named Kaori on a dating app and wants Ohara to coach him until she arrives. Ohara helps him pick nice photos and even wears a onesie of their favorite sports team to impress her. Ohara is embarrassed, but Ganda insists on meeting Kaori in the outfit. To their surprise, Kaori shows up wearing the exact same ridiculous onesie. They instantly hit it off. The next day, Ohara arrives at work to find Yuri has taken the day off. Shortly after, Ganda tells Ohiro he's decided to marry Kaori, but Ohiro tells him not to waste time. Ganda decides to confess, but Kaori suddenly stops responding to his messages. Her friend tells Ganda Kaori can't meet him right now. Ganda is devastated and tells Kaori's friend how much he loves Kaori. She advises him to be patient and wait for Kaori to be ready. Ganda also thinks it's better for both of them to really think things through before taking the step of getting serious. He breaks down in tears, while Ohiro quietly tells himself he's sure of his feelings for Yuri, but he doesn't understand why she still hasn't replied to him. The next day, Ohiro keeps calling her, trying to get an answer, but the drama queen just holds her phone shyly, too embarrassed to respond. Ohiro gets frustrated and hangs up, while she wonders what's going on and why she can't admit her feelings for him. Then now shows up, apologizing for what happened the day before, and notices Yuri seems distracted. She invites Yuri to come with her to a glass-blowing workshop to have some fun. It's Yuri's first time going to a place like that, and now teaches her how to make glass art. Yuri is thrilled to try something new and starts thinking about Ohiro. She tells herself she's ready to tell Ohiro her decision, but then remembers how her parents divorced and fears the same thing might happen with Ohiro. That's why she's scared to get close to him or fall in love again. The next day, Yuri meets up with her mom, who looks stunning, like a beautiful moon, even more gorgeous than Yuri herself. They spend a lovely time together. Typical Egyptian mom style, her mom jokes, "Aren't you going to make me happy and settle down? When are you going to get married so I can have grandkids?" Yuri denies it, saying there's nothing like that happening yet. Her mom encourages her not to see her failed marriage as the end of the world and tells her to give herself a chance to love and be loved. Yuri is so focused on her mom's words that she doesn't even notice her phone ringing several times, Ohiro calling. Ohiro thinks she's ignoring him and regrets confessing his feelings too soon. Suddenly, Yuri's phone rings and it's Ohiro. She laughs nervously, saying goodbye to her mom and realizing her mom knows about the fake marriage. Her mom expected Yuri to tell her, but was surprised Yuri kept it a secret, unaware it was all just a sham marriage. Yuri notices all Ohiro's missed calls and tells herself she has to call him back, but she's afraid he'll be mad because he's so straightforward. She hesitates but finally decides to call him. Yuri remembers when she used to like a boy long ago who messaged her and wanted to meet, but she was scared he might kidnap her. He kept texting for 2 weeks before giving up and moving schools. Now she's confused between her feelings for Ohiro and her dislike for marriage and men in general. Honestly, who is she, Yasmin Ez or Radwa El Sherbini? Even her otaku friend says she needs to try to figure out who she really is and what she wants. Yuri decides she'll go to Ohiro's place and tells herself, "Come on, Ohiro, we need to go on a date and get to know each other better." Ohiro is stunned and speechless. She tells him they'll take a day off from work and hang out together. Still shocked, he doesn't reply immediately. Yuri shouts at him, "Don't leave me hanging. Are you ignoring me, or what?" He finally says, all right, whatever you say, boss lady." Clearly, she's got him wrapped around her finger. The next day, Ohiro gets dressed and waits at the place they agreed on. He finds Yuri wearing pants and a hat, looking a bit silly. He asks, "Are you working for the Ministry of Tourism, or what? Why can't we just go to a cinema or mall like normal people?" She replies, "No, you have to see me as I really am and come with me to the places I love." Ohiro gives in and follows her. Yuri is amazed by the place and starts taking pictures like a National Geographic reporter. When Ohiro gets hungry, he asks Yuri, "Hey, you don't happen to have any hidden sandwiches, do you?" She just offers him some weird biscuits. As they walk around, Yuri gets completely lost in her own world, so much that she forgets Ohiro is even there. But Ohiro tries to keep up, reading more about the place they're visiting. At that moment, Yuri realizes she was so caught up in her own bubble that she didn't even notice Ohiro might be bored or tired. She apologizes, but Ohiro tells her he's not bored at all. In fact, he's happy seeing her enjoy herself. Honestly, the guy deserves a perfect 10 out of 10 for that. But then Yuri spills the beans and tells him she only went on this date to say goodbye. She admits she's decided to confess everything and move to Alaska. She's scared she'll fall in love with him, and she can't fight that fear. Then Ohiro grabs her hand, pulls her close, and does a little CPR-like move. He tells her, "I love you, and there's no way I'll let you go to Alaska." They both get shy, and Yuri tells him, "Don't move." We find out she's reconsidering the whole Alaska plan. She walks away, lost in thought all night about what just happened between them. Meanwhile, Karo calls Yuri, probably having found out their secret. The next day, Ohiro and Yuri meet at work, both feeling awkward as they remember what happened the day before. Then Karo calls them over and tells them she knows the truth. She wants them to do a lifestyle shoot together since they're getting married soon. She asks if they live together, and neither of them can deny it. They really do live together now. They reluctantly agree to the shoot. Karo is so professional, she comes up with a polite plan to keep them together without making things awkward. That night, she visits O'Hara with a list of allowed things they can do together. First, they must raise their hands before speaking, like school kids. O'Hara is shocked and asks, "Are we in school, or what?" Karo tells him to shut up and listen. Then she promises to pay half the water and electricity bills. O'Hara protests, "That's embarrassing, you're my wife." She replies, "Better that than nothing." Finally, she announces she'll sleep in a tent to protect herself from that rogue. O'Hara can't make sense of all this, but just says he's going to get dinner. While having dinner, O'Hara tells Yuri he's happy to eat with her because he's always been lonely and miserable. Yuri tells him the food tastes amazing. He jokes that it's all thanks to the secret recipe and pretends to be Chef Sherbini. Then Yuri feels she needs to use the bathroom, but is shy to tell O'Hara. She lies and says she's going to her apartment to get something. O'Hara doesn't believe her since he knows she's probably going to the bathroom, and he's worried the bathroom might get locked or something. Later, Otaku friend thinks to himself, how can he love her and want to marry her, but still be this shy around her? When Yuri returns, O'Hara asks where she'll shower. She tells him it's that rogue's problem. Before she gets mad, O'Hara apologizes and says he didn't mean it. He insists they shower at the public baths, as it's normal here in Japan. They really do end up showering at the public baths together, and Yuri feels a strange, wonderful feeling towards him. They stay up all night talking. O'Hara blames himself for being near such a fiery girl, but not knowing how to get closer to her. Yuri also blames herself for the 10 idea, calling it a bad and silly idea since the weather was so hot. She keeps texting him until she sees him come out of the tent. They keep talking and getting to know each other better. They both wish their fake marriage could be real. The next day, O'Hara and Yuri report back to Karo about their day together. Karo stops doubting them and tells the manager that they really do love each other and will get married. The manager decides to send someone else to Alaska, and that someone is Ganda. At the office, O'Hara feels guilty because their fake marriage means Ganda will go to Alaska. He tells himself it doesn't matter since he's lonely anyway and no one will ask about him. O'Hara keeps blaming himself all night, but he's not alone. Yuri feels guilty too. The next day, O'Hara remembers a childhood memory where he lied to his mom, and she got upset and refused to forgive him. She said lying is the coward's way to avoid facing problems. He decides to stop being a coward and goes to Karo. He offers his whole life to her and asks to go to Alaska. Karo takes him to her office, where she finds out Yuri has also confessed she wants to go to Alaska. Otaku friend thinks Karo is braver than all of them. Karo admits she's fed up with her husband and his family and wants to travel somewhere new to escape their bad vibes. After all that, O'Hara and Yuri break up and take off their fake wedding rings. They write a letter to everyone explaining that their love and engagement were just a fake marriage. They even throw away the couple's gifts. It's clear both of them are heartbroken because they really do love each other, but each is trying to convince themselves otherwise. Yuri breaks down crying, but suddenly O'Hara decides to confess everything to her. He tells himself he won't let fear control him anymore. He says, "I'll come to you even if it kills me." He runs after her shouting, "Yuri, Yuri, don't ignore me. I love you. I can't live without you." He asks her to marry him for real. Yuri replies, "No, I love you too, and I'm not letting you go." He puts the ring back on her finger and promises this time they'll live real love, not a fake one. And that's how it ends. My lonely otaku friend, too much romance for you. Huh? They announce to everyone they're really getting married this time. They pack up everything and go to the market together. O'Hara keeps talking about maps and mountains, while Yuri shares her love for cats and cooking. All their families are happy for them, and they live happily ever after as a sweet, clingy couple. The anime ends here.